I am Sajida I, Assistant Professor, Computer Science and Engineering Department, Jyoti Engineering College. Hi students, welcome to our next video session, that is parameter passing methods. There are two types of parameter passing methods, call by value and call by reference. The call by value method we have already discussed in the session actual argument and formal argument. If you forgot, then please watch again that video, actual arguments and formal arguments. Then only we go for this today's video. So the parameter passing methods are two types, call by value and call by reference. So what is call by value? That we have already discussed. The call by value or pass by value means the actual parameters directly copied to the formal parameters. So actual parameters and formal parameters we have already discussed earlier. Actual parameters means the parameters passing through the function call, and the formal parameters are the parameters in the function definition. So in the case of call by value method, the actual parameters directly copied to the formal parameters, and formal parameters are the duplicates of the actual parameters. The memory occupied by the actual parameter is different from memory occupied by the formal parameter that you can see here. And suppose this is the memory for the actual argument and this is the memory for the formal argument. Both are different. Both are having different memory locations. The changes in formal argument will not reflect the actual argument. This is the point that you have to note. In the case of call by value or pass by value method, the changes in the formal argument will not reflect the actual argument. Whatever changes you have made in the formal argument, that is in the function definition, it will not reflect the actual argument in the main function. So that is the point that you have to note in the case of call by value. And in the previous video, I have already explained this program. The same program is here. To swap values of two variables using call by value. So in this program, you can see that the main function a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, and we are calling a function swap. Here swap is a function, a user defined function is here, and while we are calling the swap function, we are passing a and b as actual arguments. So here passing as call by value. Whenever it sees the function call, then the control will goes to the function definition, and this copy a will be copied to this a and b will be copied to this b. So in the main function a and b is there, in the swap function a and b is there, and both are entirely different. So here in the case of this program, actual arguments a and b will be copied into this formal arguments a and b. So inside the function definition, we can say that we are just swapping by using a third variable t. We are just swapping the values of both a and b. And inside the function, if you are printing a and b, then you can see that a is equal to 20 and b is equal to 10. That means here initially a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. But after swapping, a and b will be changed or swapped. A becomes 20 and b becomes 10. This happens only inside this function, inside this user defined function, and after this function execution, then the control will again go to the main function. Here you can see a printf statement, a is equal to b is equal to. So what will be the output of this printf statement? Here you can see that again it will print a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20, because the changes in the formal arguments will not reflect the actual arguments. Here a and b are the actual arguments. So a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. That will be printing in this print statement. Where in the case of user defined function swap, this a and b is local to this function. This is a formal argument. So whatever changes you have made in this formal argument will not reflect this actual argument. So this is the difference that you have to point out in the case of call by value. So let us have a look on call by reference. As the name itself reference means, we will not copy the actual parameter to the formal parameter. Instead of that, we just pass the address of the variable as a parameter to the function definition. That is, actual parameters are not copying to the formal parameters, passing the address of variable as parameter to function definition. The memory occupied by the actual parameter is different from the memory occupied by the formal parameter. The memory occupied by the actual parameter is different from the memory occupied by the formal parameter. Here there is a mistake, that is memory occupied by the actual parameter is not different. Both are same here. Actual parameter and formal parameter, the memory is both are same. So this is a mistake in this slide. So please correct it. The memory occupied by the actual parameter is same as the memory occupied by the formal parameter. That is, both are sharing same memory locations. The changes in the formal argument will reflect the actual argument. The changes happened in the formal argument will reflect the actual argument. So these are the important points regarding this call by reference or pass by reference method. So in the case of call by value, or in the case of reference, passing address of actual parameter and the formal parameter access the address of actual parameter. We will use those values for further manipulation. So whatever manipulation we have done on formal parameter will show the important on actual parameter. So the impact on actual parameter, whatever changes that we have made on the formal parameter will reflect or impact on actual argument or actual parameter. This means both actual and formal will share the same memory address. That is, here there is no duplication or no copying occurs. Just we are accessing the value directly from the memory. So here let us have the same example as previous example. Same example is here also, swapping example, so that you can clearly understand what is called by reference. Program to swap values of two variables using call by reference. This is the same example of previous call by value method. So what you have to do is you have to note the changes occurred in this call by reference. So here you can see in the function prototype int star and int star. The previous case we have just given us int comma int. The prototype in this example, in the prototype we have given int comma int. So in this slide you can see in the case of call by reference the argument will be pointers in the star. Here the arguments are pointers because we are passing the address, not value. So these are the pointers indicated by this star notation. So in the star this is a pointer, another variable is again a pointer, so we have to give in the star. Then in main function a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. So how we can call the function? Swap, then ampersand a comma ampersand b. That means here we are passing the address of a and b. That is passing address as actual arguments. Here we are passing address of a. Here we are passing address of b. So whenever the function call occurs, the control will goes to the function definition. Then the function definition header, we can see the arguments. These are the formal arguments, and these formal arguments are again pointers. So ampersand a means address of a. Address of a will be copied into this a, and ampersand b means address of b. The address of b will be copied into this b. That is, here you can see before swapping, this is the a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20, and this is the address of a and this is the address of b. So here in this case, the address of A, that is 1000, will be copied into this A, and address of B, that is 1002, will be copied into this B. So A means 1000. So star A means the content of A, that is 10. Here also B is address. So star B means the content of B, that is 20. So inside the function definition, we can say that there is a temporary variable, third variable t is equal to star a means t is equal to 10, and star a is equal to star b means the position, the content of the location 1000 will become changed to 20. The content of the location will be changed to 20. Oh, before swapping. Here there is a change in the after swapping this becomes 10 and this becomes 20. Okay. Okay, now it is okay. So before swapping, here you can see that a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. So inside this function, you can say that t is equal to star a. That means t is equal to 10. And star a is equal to star b. That is equal to 1000. The location 1000. The value passing from b location, that is 20, will be passing copying into here. Then star b is equal to t. Star b means the content of b. The 1002 location, it will be copied into this from this temporary variable. First of all, this value of a will be copied into this temporary variable, and the value of b will be copied into here. Then after that, from this temporary variable, the value will be copied into this b. So in this printf statement, what will be the output of a and b? The output of a and b will be a is equal to 20 and b is equal to 10. And when the control goes to main function, here you can see again a printf function. So printf a is equal to b is equal to, here also you can see that a is equal to 20 and b is equal to 10. The previous example, uh, when we are passing the arguments as call by value method, in this statement printf, we can see there was no changes for this a and b. There is a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20 was there. But in this case, when while we are passing the arguments as call by reference, then the changes in the formal arguments reflect the actual arguments. Whatever changes we have made in this formal arguments A and B will reflect here the actual arguments A and B. So here also the printf output of printf will be A is equal to 20 and B is equal to 10. So these are the points that you have to note in this example call by reference. So you have to study in detail this call by reference. If you have any doubt, you are very free. Feel free to ask me by any way. You have to study this method well, very well. Call by value and call by reference method. Once more, I am telling that in the case of call by reference, we are just passing the address of the variable. We are not passing the value. We are passing address of the value. Then only the permanent changes will occur. So if we are passing the address of the value, the address will be copied into this here, and the value, the changing inside this address, the location changes will be happening here. That is, the value from 1002 will be copying into 1000, and the value from 1000 will be copying into this 1002. So the permanent changes occurring in this case of call by reference. So swapping can be done only by using this call by reference method. By using call by value method, we cannot perform the swapping. Actually, there is no swapping occurs. By using call by value, swapping does not occur. Swapping occur only by using call by reference. If we are passing address as arguments, it is known as call by reference method. So try to understand. Here we are passing address of the variables. So ampersand a will be copying into this a. That is, ampersand is address operator. So address will be copied into this a. Star a means data or the content of that address, the data of that location. Here ampersand b means address of b, that will be copied into this b. So star b means the data or content of that location b. So like that, here swapping will be occurred, and whenever we again go back to this main function, the permanent changes will be happened for this a and b. So the output will be um the required output will be there. That means swapping happened here. So if you have any doubt, you are very free to ask me these doubts and study well this topic, call by value and call by reference. These are the two argument passing methods that you have to study. So call by value is very easy. The call by reference method is somewhat difficult, but it is very interesting if you study by noting the changes. Comparative study. Please do the comparative study between call by value and call by reference. Then it will be very easy to study call by reference and call by value. Okay, thank you.